What's going on, YouTube? It's Raise Hell Zell back again with another video for y'all. So, we coming off this loss, man. Loss against the Eagles, 26-18. It was a pretty bad loss. It was a pretty bad loss. Not what I expected. Not what most of the fan base expected. Even if you thought we would lose, you didn't think. I feel like I think it's fair to say that most of us didn't think we would lose like this. For most of the season, our offense is what's been carrying us, and our defense is what's been holding us back. But over these last few games, man, it's starting to look like the roles are starting to reverse. Like, this is the second game in a row where our offense struggled to get anything going late in the game. But this game, it looked like we struggled pretty much all the game to do anything on offense. Outside of that touchdown that we had, where we had the short field because, they missed the field goal, so we got a short field and we scored. And outside of that late touchdown, that I don't even really count. It was a late touchdown and garbage time. We really couldn't get anything going offensively all day. So, I mean, it is what it is. It feels like, we're starting to come back down to earth as to what this team really is, in regards to talent wise and in regards to what we actually have on this team. But we got to keep pushing, man. We got to keep pushing. There's some things I want to go over for the game though. But first thing I want to get the good out the way, because that's the shortest thing. We got a whole rack of bad to talk about, but first thing I want to get out the way is good. Our defense gave us so many opportunities to win this game and to at least give us a sizable lead, to give us some room and make the Eagles have to throw the ball late in the game instead of just running it. Because the game was so close and because they did, get that touchdown late, they were able to run the ball, which kind of, took us out of the game. If we had scored a touchdown late when we were up 10-6 and we had the ball, or when we were up 10-9 and we had the ball, or even 10-3, if we had scored a touchdown late, actually not when 10-9, it was 10-6, we was up 10-3 and we had the ball, we could have scored a touchdown to kind of give us a 17-3 lead. We were up 10-6. We could have scored the ball to give us a 17-6 lead, but if we had scored, that would have put us in a really good position to win this ball game. But because we didn't, we gave the ball back to them, and they were able to hand the ball off to SaQUAD. If we were up 17-6, they would have been forced to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, put the ball in the air, and that would have worked in our favor. Because for one, we're bottom in the league in run defense, and for two, SaQUAD would have had to catch the ball out the backfield instead of running it so many times down our throat, which they ultimately did late in the game, and we couldn't do anything about it. But I wanted to give our shout out to our defense though, man, because they're the ones that held us in this game. They held them to 6 points in the fourth quarter. Like a few minutes into the fourth quarter, they only had 6 points. We cannot keep relying on our defense to keep us in games. They have been overachieving all year. Like, at some point, we had to score points. We had to score points for us to win. And we didn't. Late in the game, we just didn't do that. And that's what ultimately costed us the game. That's what costed us the game, was our offense. This game is definitely on our offense, not on our defense. They gave us so many opportunities to keep us in the game. And at the end of the day, it's only so much that this defense can do. Like, after a while, when the offense isn't scoring, and they're giving the ball going 3 and outs, and they're giving the ball right back to the Eagles, they're going to start. Eagles offense and defense are amazing. Their offense is going to start clicking at some point. We needed our offense to stay on the field, put up points, or some type of points, and run the clock, bro. But we didn't do that. And I want to give us a shout out to our defense, because they're the ones that kept us in this game, and gave us a chance to win. But our offense just ultimately didn't do it. And our defense has been playing really good. Like, we've been getting better and better every week. Mikey Sanders still looked really good against A.J. Brown. He looked really good against A.J. Brown as a rookie. I think on Sanford still AJ Brown only. He was the primary guarding. I think he was primarily guarding AJ Brown most of the day. I think he had most of his snaps lined up against AJ Brown, and I think he only gave up about 20, 30 yards on him. So no touchdowns. So that was really good, man. That was really good for Mikey. He seems like he's getting more acclimated with the defense. Shout out to him. But as an overall team, another good thing is that now we get a little bit of time to rest, because you can kind of see that JD needs time to rest. I don't know if he's still injured, but I'm not even going to bring up the injury because he's good enough to play. If he's still injured and that's why he's making these passes, throwing the ball a little bit low to the wide receivers, man, not being as accurate as he was to start the season or earlier in the season, I don't know if you can attribute that to him being a little injured. I don't know if you can attribute that to him being flustered. But the Eagles defense, they played a really good game. I don't know if you probably got to give it to the Eagles. That's probably why he looked so bad yesterday, because the Eagles defense was just clicking, man. They had our offensive line flustered. Brandon Coleman over there was giving up so much shit. And it's crazy because a few weeks ago he was looking really nice, but these last 2 weeks he just doesn't look like an NFL left tackle. At least right now, he doesn't look like an NFL left tackle. I don't know if he can develop into one, but it just wasn't there. Their defensive line had our number. Their offensive line started to get our number late in the game as well. But we're gonna need this 10 days of rest, man. JD5, like I said, I don't know if it's injury, but he's not looking like how he's been like these last two, like the game against the Giants, that looks like Jaden Daniels. But these last two games, bro, and he didn't even play bad against the Steelers. I don't think he played bad. He just missed a few throws here and there. I wouldn't even put the game on the Steelers. He just missed a few throws that he knows he could have and should have won. Should have made. But this game, man, it just wasn't there, man. He had a rookie game. Like, the Eagles defense really made him look like a rookie. And it's hard to say because I wanted to win this game so bad, but it didn't come out like that. So you got to give the Eagles props. You got to give them props, man. We're just, as a team right now, we're not on that level. We're not on a level as the Eagles, as the Lions, maybe not even as like the 49ers. We're not on that top tier echelon level of these NFC teams yet. We're just not there yet. But we've made so much progress in this 1 year, and I think most of us came into this season, at least we should have, came into the season not expecting much. But they've already even if we lost all rest of these games, and I don't think we're gonna lose the rest of these games. I think we're gonna win most of these games. But even if we lost the rest of these games, we would go 7-10. I think that's still an improvement from last year. It'll be a cataclysmic loss, losing streak, but it'll still be better than 4 wins from last season. So that's an improvement. I still think we're going to win 11, 12 games this season. I think we're still going to beat the Cowboys twice. I think we're still going to beat the Titans. I still think we were better than the Falcons. I think we're still going to beat the Falcons. And the best thing about this is that we still got our bye week coming up. We get 10 days before our next game against the Cowboys to rest up. And we get another chance to play the Steelers. We get a chance to redeem ourselves against this team. Like, it's not like this is in our house. It's not like this is the last game against the Eagles. We're going to play them again. And we have a chance to get that nasty taste out of our mouths. The Eagles still have to play the Steelers and the Ravens. Those aren't going to be good, easy games for them. If they can lose one of those and we can beat them when they come to our house later and we win the rest of our games, we still have a chance to be first in the NFC East. We still have a chance to be first in the NFC East because they'll have 4 losses, we'll have 4 losses, and we'll have the split. But we got to win the rest of these games, bro, for us to give us a chance. But yeah, man. The game just wasn't good. The offense just looked terrible all day. It looked like we just couldn't get anything going. I don't know if it was more of the scheme from Cliff. I don't know if it was more because of the line. The line just didn't hold up when we needed it to in most important moments. I don't know if it was more because of Jaden Daniels just didn't look like himself. I don't know if it was the injury. I don't know if the Eagles just had him figured out. But it was bad, man. Our offense just looked the worst it's looked all season. All season, the offense just looked terrible. I mean, all season, the offense has looked like it's been one of the best in the league. But yesterday, it just did not, man. It just did not. The Eagles had us figured out. Their defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, whatever his name is, he did a good job, bro. That defense is no joke, man. And it was on a night where Jalen Hurts didn't do much better than Jaden Daniels. Jalen Hurts didn't look any better than Jaden Daniels last night. Granted, he didn't turn the ball over, but we were doing a good job passing on pass defense. And late in the game, after a while, if your offense keeps giving them the ball back and back again, with that type of talent that the Eagles have on that offense, they're going to find a way. Something's going to break through, and SaQUAD broke through late in the game. SaQUAD broke through in that fourth quarter after we did a really solid job against him most of the day. He broke through late in that fourth quarter, and that kind of hurt watching that game, because I'm like, going into the fourth quarter, I'm like, okay, these are two teams going at it right now. They can't either team can't really get anything going on offense. Now, granted, they did miss 3 kicks, 2 field goals, and an extra point, but still, like, we were still holding them to those kicks. And then that fourth quarter, they just broke free, and we couldn't get anything going. And they made JD5 look like a rookie, man. You gotta give him props. You gotta give him, let him know. I mean, you got to give them what they deserved. I mean, they deserve to win. They look like a better team. We look like an inferior team to them. And you got to give them their props. Terry McLaurin. He had 2 targets, 1 catch for 10 yards. I refuse. It doesn't matter, bro. Nothing's going all day. We got to figure out, even if he was getting clamped by their rookie cornerback that they got over there, who's a fantastic player. He's really good. But 2 targets, bro. You didn't even give him a chance. 2 targets. I don't care if the dude was on his back the whole day. Like, literally, Terry was running around with Quinyon Mitchell on his back all day. You still have to give him more than 2 targets. I don't know if that's JD5 or I don't know if that's Cliff in the scheme, but that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense that he has 2 targets. 2 targets, bro. 2 targets? Draw something up. Shit, at that point, I'd rather you give him the ball on the end around, even though he fumbled against the Browns. Give him the ball, bro. He needs a touch. He needs to feel like he's a part of the offense, bro. 2 targets. Dude ran around the whole game. It was probably like 80-something plays, 70 plays. And dude had 2 targets the whole day. That makes no sense. He's 3rd in yards per game as a wide receiver this season. What are we doing? I don't care if he was getting clamped. Give him the ball, bro. Let him make a play against the cornerback. He's earned that much. You got to get him involved. So I'm disappointed in the offense for that. That's kind of crazy to me. 4th down play call. I'm not mad at the 4th down play call. We've been a really good 4th down offense all year. We've been the best. And Dan Quinn probably thought we might not make it back down here. We might not make it back down here in the red zone, or this close to scoring a touchdown again this game. We didn't have anything going on all day. We needed to make something happen on offense. We wasn't going to win the game. If we kicked the field goal there and we wouldn't have won, we wasn't going to win the game just off that field goal. It was 13. If we would have kicked the field goal, we would have been up by 1. And it would have made the score 13-12. The Eagles were going to score again. They were going to score. They were going to get back down at least in field goal range and kick a field goal. So I agree with the call going for it. We needed to get 7 right there. We needed to try to get 7. Now, the execution or the play call, I don't agree with. I don't know if the offense didn't execute the play call rightly and Jaden Daniels just kind of ran with it, or if that was the play call and it was the play call to have Jaden Daniels run. I don't know. But either way, it wasn't executed well at all. At all, bro. But I do not disagree with that play call. I really don't. I had some time to think about it. Because at first I'm like, dang, why didn't we take the points? But when I'm thinking about it, after going over the whole game, we didn't have many other chances of scoring. We needed to score a touchdown right there to stay in that game. And it looked like it because they scored like 3 touchdowns after that. They ended up with 26. No, they scored 2 more touchdowns after that. So we needed to score a touchdown because they were going to score points, and it was right because they did score more points. But we just didn't execute on that 4th down. And I know y'all say the momentum after that play, the momentum went down to their way. Bro, Eagles were going to score points. Either that been a field goal or a touchdown. They were going to score points. Us kicking a field goal right there was not going to fix anything. It wasn't. I'm not about to sit here and say that was a bad call when I don't think it's a bad call. Now, watching it, I did think it was a bad call. But going back over and looking at the highlights and looking at the stats and thinking about everything that went on in that game, I can't say it was a bad call. So the execution just wasn't there. But like I said, man, I feel like the biggest thing on our offense, even if they're playing well, the biggest question mark to me was, why didn't we try to force Terry the ball? And we talked about this earlier in the season because he kind of had a slow start to the season, like the first 2 or 3 games. I think it was before the game, the 2 games, because the Bengals game, he started clicking. But the first 2 games, we was like, dang, what's going on? Like, our offense is doing pretty good, but we haven't been getting Terry the ball. But in a night like this, we needed to find ways to get Terry the ball. We needed to draw specific things up to get the ball in his hands. And I put that on Cliff Kingsbury. If I had to put anything bad about this night on anybody, it'll probably be between Cliff Kingsbury the most. It'll be on Cliff Kingsbury the most. But our offensive line and Jaden Daniels are close seconds. They did not perform to the best of their abilities last night. But yeah, man, we're gonna see how we bounce back. This is what adversity feels like, man. This is what teams go through. And the good teams find a way to bounce back from this. They find a way to go on winning streaks. They find a way to close the season out good. And that's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out a lot about this team in these next few weeks before the bye. Like these next 2, how we enter the bye. If we can enter the bye getting these next 2 games, and then we exit the bye, and we perform against the Eagles. How we close this season will tell us a great deal about this team, obviously. But these next couple of games will tell us the most we need to know about this team going into the end of the season. But it cannot be understated that how badly we needed some rest and how bad we were beat up. We have a late bye this season. I think it's week 14 as our bye. Yes, week 14. And we need it bad, bro. We need to heal up. We need to regroup. This team is already overachieving as it is, and we're kind of beat up a little bit. So these 10 days, man, I hope we can just regroup. We're going up against a team in the Cowboys that we should beat pretty handily to get our confidence back. And it's going to be interesting to see how we come out and play that game. Also, I don't know about JD's injury, bro. I don't know what it is, man, because these throws that he's making, he was hitting these like clockwork earlier in the season, like clockwork before the injury. And I don't even like putting an excuse on the injury because he was accurate against the Giants. And he was accurate for most of the game against the Steelers, except a few throws that we did. He did miss a few throws that we could. He wish he would win it back, but we had a lot of drops last week. But this game, bro, I don't know if it was still the injury or what. But I was listening to Louis T on YouTube. Shout out to Louis T. And somebody had brought up that he said that we don't know if we should trust JD5 to be one of them ones until he stops getting that heat wrap on the sidelines. If you notice, after every drive, they wrap his rib cage up with a heat wrap. Every drive. And since they've been doing that, since that injury in North Carolina, he hasn't really looked like the 100% Jaden that we're used to. And hopefully these 10 days can get him back a little bit closer to what he used to look like. And hopefully the bye week can get him back to closer to 100% because we're going to need him. Any game he plays bad, we lose. We're going to lose. We can't put up points. Any game he plays good and well, we're going to have a chance to win. So we go as JD5 go. But at the end of the day, I'm not deterred by this team. I think we're still a really good team. We're not just there with the upper echelon teams right now. And you can't. It's not fair to, even though we've had some big wins over some teams this season, and we kind of had a good Cinderella story this season, based off of our expectations coming into the season. We're just not there yet where we want to be. And it's not fair to put that on us in our first year of this coaching staff, first year of all this new players on the roster turnover. Really the first year of the ownership. I know they bought the team like a few weeks before the last season, but that's not really what Josh Harris and them boys really wanted to do. They kind of just they bought the team, then they kind of let things unfold that season. And now they got a real off season and then implemented and stuff. So this is really the first year of this new regime. And it's not fair for us to be in one season, expect us to be like the Lions and the Eagles and all these other great teams of the NFC. Not just yet. But I understand if you come to expect that because of how we've played this year. But one thing, even though we've played really well, we haven't been battle tested like we have last week and this week. And we've gotten battle tested now. We've went through the fire last week. We should have won that game. We played a good team in the Steelers. We lost, and we played a good team in the Eagles, and we lost this game. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we bounce back. And I think we're going to bounce back. I still think we're going to win at least 11 games. I'm honestly expecting us to win at least. I think at most we lose one more game. I think either we lose the game to the Eagles or we lose the game to the Falcons. But we're not losing both those games. All the other games we should win. Easy. But we're not losing both those games. I don't think we should lose both those games. And if we just have one loss, that'll put us at 12-5. Right? Yeah, 12-5. Yeah, 12-5. And I think that's right around where this team should be. We should be around 12-5. I really want us to go 13-4 though. I really want us to go 13-4, just win out. That'll give us a really good chance to win the division if we just win out. But that's wishful thinking, hopeful thinking. But I don't think it's crazy for us to expect us to win the rest of these games except one. We're better than the Cowboys. We're better than the Titans. I still think we're better than the Falcons. We're not better than the Eagles, but if we come in hot and we get rest and they playing at our house, we still have a chance to beat the Eagles. But we're better than all the other teams that we got to play this season to close the season out. I just want to end this with don't be sad about everything. I mean, you could be sad about the loss because I expected to win too, you know what I'm saying, as a fan, but don't think like, okay, we're trash. This is the same shit we've been going through over the years, because it's not. We just got hit in our mouth these last 2 weeks, and now it's time to respond. So we're gonna see. I'm optimistic. We're gonna enter the playoff on a hot streak and feeling good. So thank you, y'all, man. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bar. Let me know what y'all think about the rest of this season, man. Put something in the comments. What y'all think? How y'all feel about the Eagles game? What do y'all think? Who do y'all put the blame on? How do y'all feel the season ending and going into the playoffs? Do you think we're gonna what y'all think our record is gonna be? But like I said, man, I think we're gonna still be a pretty good team, and we're gonna enter the playoffs with a lot of wins racked up. So thank y'all, man, and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday. Peace out.